comic book movies that could easily flop hard. Um, but yeah, apparently he's as hyped as I am. I think it'll be a very good movie. And based on early reviews, it might be the best movie in the past decade, which that's pretty strong. So I'm very leery about reviews like that, but I'm excited to see it still.
Yeah, I've been excited to see. I keep thinking it's out because I keep hearing, like, if DC's letting people watch this movie as early as it has been, because I've already seen
Yeah,
reviews and shit of it.
yeah. Yeah.
Like,
Early releases for reviewers have been all, like since like last month.
DC's got to be pretty proud of their shit if they're letting people view it so early.
Absolutely. I mean, it doesn't drop till October 4th, so it's pretty soon. It's only like 2 weeks, so 2 weeks from Friday.
Yeah,
So
but
that's
normally there's not reviews that early on movies.
yeah, unless they expect it to do really well. Like I think Man of Steel actually had super early viewings. Like I think that had like it came out in like November and it had like summer reviewing like early showings. But hey guys, this is Eggs the Burrito. I'm joined by Indigo151. Say how's it going? What's up, dude?
How's it going? What's up, dude?
Hell yeah. That's what I was going for. I was hoping you'd just say exactly what I told you to say. So yes, this is Garbage Gang stream number 75. We're closing in. We're aiming towards 100. We have big plans for that. Hope you guys stay tuned. I'll definitely have more to talk about with that when we get closer. And I'm very, very excited for the 100th. But he's probably gonna play some Monster Hunter, but you know I always like having a buddy in the chat so I can have somebody to bounce stuff I have to talk about with, because it's hard when I don't unless I have somebody talking in chat. Like the Battle for the Grid stream was pretty easy to do just because I had people I could talk to just in chat or in um, the broadcast chat rather than just voice chat. But when I'm not sure if I will, I prefer it in voice chat because then I could just like throw shit out there and have somebody to talk to about it.
I
But
kind of use it as an extended phone call just to bullshit around.
yeah, I mean that too. I do the same. Absolutely, I do the same thing. But yeah, I definitely wanted to play some Overwatch though, because man, this Lego Bastion skin is gorgeous. It's easily his best skin, like by a long shot. Bastion's always been he's been kind of weird with his skins because he's not like base Zarya where he didn't have a good skin for like 2 years, but he's had like only okay ones the entire time. Like I don't think any of his are especially terrible. They're just like kind of lame. Actually, kind of don't mind. Like I don't hate any of them really, but I don't love any of them either. Because they're just like robots. And I mean, there's a lot you can do with robots, but I feel like with Bastion they just never did anything too crazy with them, so it never really seemed all that interesting until now. The brick skin is amazing, so that's the goal, is to attempt to get that. I probably won't be playing competitive, even though I only have 3 matches in that, only because those matches take a long time, and I want to try and get him today, so we'll see how that goes. But I'm going to start with the mystery hero game, then maybe I'll do the 3 competitives later if I feel up to it. But what will you be doing, Isaac? Got any big Iceborne plans?
First, wait for this update to finish. Second, wait for my brain to process being awake. For context, I just got up from a long nap.
Oh yeah,
allergies driving me nuts all day.
Oh jeez, I'm like in the middle of a match.
And
Looks like the match is
not really. I built my garbage blue set, but now I'm working off that and designing something off the same pieces, but it won't be the whole set, so I'm doing something a little different. Um,
Man, I was hoping, I knew I would die, but I was hoping that fair would come out and just get melted by my turret. Um,
I've been in between buying tickets for RamenCon and buying Borderlands 3.
Gotcha. I mean, I hear Borderlands 3 is pretty good. If you like 2, it seems like you'll like 3. Besides a few
Yeah,
glitch hiccups here and there.
well, yeah, but like, what doesn't have its glitches, you know?
When
If
yeah,
it's
because everything
if it's
has to
not
be released
precise,
too
then
early these days.
well, it's not even that. Plenty of games before used to come out with
Ooh,
glitches
that's not good.
before, post-game updates came out. Just those glitches were typically unfixable.
Uh,
Look at 90% of the Sonic series post Sega Genesis.
right. Yeah, but they usually just leave those to be glitch fests until Sonic Mania, which is just a complete game.
Yes, because Sonic Mania is actually a fantastic game.
Yeah, like
Sonic Mania is one of the best, like, dollar for dollar worth the game purchases I've made in quite a long time.
yeah, that's true. It also is
$20
like
game
super
that
cheap. Yeah, yeah,
$20 game that
yeah.
brings you back to when you were a kid and playing the old Sonic games.
Yeah, dude.
Uh, as well as just, getting a lot of enjoyment out of it. Like, I got plenty of games where, as much as I enjoy the games, if I actually was, like, being real about it, I don't know that I got as much enjoyment out of the game as I feel I should for a $60 game. But, that one I feel like was very perfectly priced.
Oh yeah. Its only downside is it's short. It's pretty much
It's a it's a $20 game, so that's perfectly acceptable.
Right. But yeah, I guess when I mean in reality, when your biggest flaw is there's not enough of you, it's not a really bad thing to have.
Well, okay. Then there's a lot of modern games where it's a $60 game, but it took 5 hours to beat the game and 10 hours to platinum it, and that I see as a flaw.
That's fair. Admittedly, I would not be the one to ask about that, which purchase you should make, because I enjoy conventions and I don't like Borderlands. I've played all 3 of them, or I've played the first 2, I haven't played 3 yet. And I haven't played the pre-sequel or Tales of the Borderlands, but
I didn't play either of those either.
But I was never crazy about any of them. I think I played the most 2, but I never was too all that into it.
I never got too hard into 1.
Yeah.
But 2 I did get quite a bit of enjoyment out of.
I feel like I hear it's not a problem with 3, but I know 1 and 2 I needed to play with people or else I couldn't enjoy the game. Just to be fair, is not really a good thing because I can even enjoy a really terrible game as long as I'm playing with friends.
Yeah, Borderlands 2 was definitely a game that I didn't enjoy as much solo as I did in a group. Like, it wasn't bad, but it was just a lot more fun to go through with people. Which, for me personally, I didn't see as a downside. Just because, some games are just better off being multiplayer.
Yeah, right. Back to base. So
what did you want to talk about tonight?
Okay, so there was one big thing I wanted to talk about, and that was the new film that just dropped today, at least in the West. I don't know about in Japan, but was Trigger's first full-length feature film, Promare, which of course is I don't know if the director has a big name behind him or this and that, but I know Trigger is a big named company at this point. Mostly because they had their hand in series like Gurren Lagann. I know Darling with Franks was popular for like 2 months, and then it wasn't.
As I understand it, Trigger was formed out of like pretty much the best people from Gainax.
At least the best animators. I don't know about I don't know if it was any like everybody, but I know it was considered to be the best animators. Which I mean that's pretty good. Like Gainax's top like Gainax when they had the budget looked fantastic. Like Jesus.
Even when it didn't have the budget, Gainax, if it didn't have a budget, was pretty good about making their stuff look good still within the confines of what they had.
Yeah, for the most part, yeah.
An old favorite of mine.
I mean, you could say that that's because of direction too, though. Like not just animation.
Well, no, I don't mean that in terms of animation per se, like specifically.
Oh, yeah.
I just mean in terms of how they handle their visuals.
Yeah.
An old favorite of mine is His and Her Circumstances, which is just a fun rom-com until the ending goes off the rails because it's Gainax.
Right. And now you can say that about Trigger.
Oh, absolutely. Trigger always... Trigger did the same shit. But,
whereas usually pretty standard good stuff, and then, man, they fucking go fucking hog wild after that. Oh shit, they changed Mystery Hero.
That was very interesting because it was very obviously low budget, where they just didn't have the money to do anything they wanted, to the point where they were... this came out right after Evangelion.
Yeah.
After Evangelion basically almost bankrupted Gainax.
But it made a lot of money. It was really popular. But man, they spent way too much money.
It worked out great for them.
Yeah.
So much so that they could fuck up the ending repeatedly. And make it worse pretty much every time.
Yeah. But I still kind of dug it the first 2 times. I did not like it when they did the 3 movies.
I have watched the end of Evangelion twice. And I have had no desire to go back and watch it.
So
once when I was around 12 and once when I was around 20.
Well, because you probably watched the original. So did you ever see the original movie?
No. The movie, The End of Evangelion.
Oh, that's what you mean. You've seen the movie The End of Evangelion twice. Yeah,
no, I've seen the ending of the series Evangelion, well, probably also twice, but that's just because I've had little desire to go back and rewatch Evangelion. Good show that it is.
Yeah, it's though. Pure nihilism's hard to keep watching. It's gonna be really depressing. Like it starts.
It's one of those...
Oh, hi Andy. Welcome to the stream.
Hi, what's up, man?
Let me adjust this. I got a new mic, and you guys are loud. You're so loud.
You sound much clearer, so that I can instantly tell your mic's a lot better. Yeah, that's great. Awesome, dude.
Pretty good for a $5 mic at Walmart.
Hey, Walmart. Hey, man. Say what you will about it being budget shit, but you get some good shit sometimes.
Yeah.
Where the fuck is he? Oh.
Funny enough, all my truck driving research, one thing I came across was Walmart is actually a surprisingly good company to truck for, apparently.
Strange.
Yeah, it's they're not considered a truck...
Research. Are you doing meth again?
Oh, did I not tell you I was looking into getting my CDL?
I'm serious.
Oh, no, I was getting zapped by 2 people. I didn't know that. I was trying. I just got old too.
Well, anyway,
you guys playing some Monster Hunter?
I am not. I'm trying to get
Monster Hunter. I'm waiting for an update to go through.
I'm trying to get the new Bastion.
Just got done, but I'm in the middle of fighting Viper Togedachi, so.
Yeah, I'm trying to get the new Bastion skin.
Iceborne, awesome.
Yeah.
So.
And he's limping away, so I don't have that much longer.
Going back to what I was saying. His and Her Circumstances. It's just a fun rom-com, and it's very obviously low budget, but they also knew what to do with it, like how to work around that. They kind of built in the low budget into the show. Like, they'll linger on scenes for comedic effect a lot. They do that Dragon Ball Z shit where, like, they would just repeat the same animation and make someone look like they were going really fast, kind of thing. And it was just, but it was really simple and goofy. They'd also do like the kind of artsy, like black and white stills that were kind of fading across the screen. They do that a lot. But you know, it looks reasonably good, and it's not expensive.
Speaking of Gynax and Trigger, I'm playing with a Torb who got to play the game named Gurren Lagann. Very ironic.
Where you at,
Hell yeah,
Andy?
He just said he was fighting Viper Topi Kadachi.
Because I was waiting for the thing to download, so.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm gonna join Tayshawn's session. My download just finished.
I'm almost done with this, dude.
Yeah, no, his and her circumstances, though, was so low budget, they actually reused some of the music from Evangelion.
Dude, holy shit,
I've never seen that done in another show.
Yeah. Holy shit, dude, they completely redid Mystery Hero. So now, after the matches, like, a round is over, you don't keep your character. It still randomizes you to start the next round.
Oh, that's kind of a shame.
That's great, because, man, sometimes when you get fucked, and then the next round you know you're gonna get fucked again. I hate that.
Oh, that's also a good point. I didn't think about that. I'm thinking of all the times where I, like, last minute, like, got into a character I like, and I'm like, yeah, I can start the next round with someone I like.
Right. But also, you can now endorse people even in Mystery Hero.
That was always one that should have always been.
Yeah, that was always kind of weird that you just couldn't do that for some reason. So...
In fact, I feel like Mystery Heroes, you kind of deserve more of an endorsement if you carry, because you got, like, no ability really to control who you get, so if you're carrying in Mystery Heroes...
That's pretty
you're
good.
You're probably a pretty damn good player.
Fair. But man, the reason we bring up Trigger and Gynax and all that good stuff is because, so to bring you up to speed, Andy, I today saw a anime movie in theaters, Trigger's first full-length feature film, Promare.
Interesting.
So that's kind of what I'm wanted to talk about. So I saw the film. Emilio's probably going to break down everything that happens, so apologize if I'm going to ruin it for anybody who really wants to see it.
Spoilers alert.
Yeah, but the spoilers heavily, because I'm probably going to break down, like, the movie entirely. So movie opens up, and we're given... They do the anime thing where we have big fight scene and, like, crazy animation to open a movie, while at the same time giving us a huge exposition dump of what the fuck's going on.
Okay.
Because obviously we have no context. This is not like a Dragon Ball movie or something. This is just a standalone film. So we don't know what the fuck's happening. So we are told that there's a group of firefighters who fight these people because at one point, all of a sudden, there was a huge outbreak of spontaneous combustion. And when that happened, something called the Great Blaze happened, where fire spread across the entire planet, wiping out half of humanity.
See, I was about to say I'm cool with the Great Blaze, but no.
Okay, that's pretty intense, dude. And after half of humanity was literally wiped out, they have now gotten, like, we're at this point where society has kind of gotten a bit more under controlled, and the what they call the what do they call them? They call them the I want to say the Great Blaze, but I think they all have their own names, like these creature fire people. But there's groups of humans who use special, like, firefighting technology, which are giant robots. And by giant, I mean, like, Transformers size, like, slightly bigger than human-sized giant robots. So not, like, gigantic, but, like, bigger than a person.
They're pretty big robots.
Yeah, they're decent, medium-sized robots. And you pilot them. They don't have special names because there's just like different ones because everybody has like one. And they use those to fight these fire people because there's this whole evil terrorist group that they call the something, and I can't remember what that name was.
Do they just set themselves on fire, the evil terrorist group?
Sort of. So they can essentially create and manipulate fire, but they can form it around themselves to make them turn into these like fire demon things, or to look like fire demon things.
Okay.
God, I really can't remember what the fuck they're called. I'd use my phone to check, but I don't have my phone on me right now.
Man, poor Fire Force came out at just a bad time.
So here's the thing. I think Fire Force does it a bit better, like in terms of that story.
Oh yes, Fire Force seemed to do that really well. Too bad, like, none of the characters were interesting.
See, I stand that's wrong, and I actually like the show and the characters. Maki's my favorite. Chucky Berry. That movie sounds
Maki would
dope,
probably be my
like your
favorite.
voice just subbed. Like your voice just subbed. I don't know what you mean by that, but the movie. So the movie is pretty dope. I'll give it that. It's the animation. Holy shit! It looks great with some small issues. This movie overly relies on CG animation, especially for the giant robots, which are in a lot of the movie, and for the scenery, which looks very flat and boring, except for in like big fight scenes. And then like when they start running, when it's not particle effects as a background, but like scenery and stuff, it looks pretty fucking dope.
Gainax actually does, or Gainax, Trigger does pretty good CG robots, though.
Yeah,
I mean,
no,
Gridman
the
looks
robots didn't.
fantastic.
The robots didn't really look bad at all. Oh man, we're fucked. We totally
Gridman
lost
is one
this
of
match.
the few-
Oh, I
Gridman and
loved
Demon Hunter are
Gridman.
like my two exceptions to my hatred of CG in anime,
I love Gridman.
because they use
Totally
this-
check that out.
they use this-
SSS.Gridman. Really fucking good. Tokusatsu meets Trigger anime. Great. But so after getting this whole dump of information of these fire people and wizards, why no face cam? I apologize. I do not own a camera. I am poor. So
You can pay extra to see Zach's face.
we do have
Just contact andrewrosslesh@gmail.com for payment information.
I do plan to eventually have a cam at some point, but unfortunately at the moment we don't. I do not have the money for a face cam.
You can make 3 easy payments
No
or
worries.
45 really hard payments.
Also, bro, this is the Garbage Gang. It's super chill. We don't fuck. We just dick around, bro. We're here to have fun and nothing more. We suck at video games and we like to play them.
That's accurate.
Very accurate,
But
bro.
instead of video, your 45 easy payments of 65 hard payments of
Of-
$59.99 will
Yeah.
get you one picture of Zachariah
Of someone named Zach. It doesn't mean it's going to be this Zach.
doing the 50-year-old dad selfie where it's like the fortune followed up by the face at a slanted angle looking down.
So yeah, so going back to this movie Promare. So after we get
I
this
already
huge,
hate it.
we get this exposition dump of these firefighters who fight fire monster people. These literally called fire terrorists. Do use lotion. You sound like you use lotion. I bet you have soft skin. Well, I appreciate it. The answer is no. I do not use lotion.
Well,
But in terms of soft skin, yes, I do actually. I've been told many times I have very soft hands.
that might be an insult.
That could be. but I don't think Ashley intends it as that. Ashley, to clarify, is my fiance, so I don't think it's an insult, but it could be, I suppose.
You got bitch hands.
You got soft hands, bro.
Andy, which gathering hub are you in? If
Oh,
you
dude,
were
I'm
in
getting
one?
fucked up.
No, I meant, sorry, Astera or Celiana.
Damn, she's getting fucked up.
Okay, that's where I'm at. I just came into the gathering hub.
I ran out of time, so the fucking Tobagadachi got away.
Oh, that sucks.
Oh, okay, well, I hope you beat the life out of it.
But my armor really sucks right now, so... Yeah.
But yeah, so after we get this huge exposition dump of just firefighters fight fire monsters, we're treated to a building bursting into flames. And they're like, alright, they're called the Firefighters Special Force Flame Fighters Division.
So edgy.
No, they're so cool. They don't treat themselves edgy. They treat themselves as dynamic, badass hero characters.
Oh, okay. They're all Might.
No, they're all Kamina.
Yeah, you see, I've seen maybe 2 episodes of that, and it's been since I was a freshman in high school.
It's pretty dope. I would still recommend Gurren Lagann. At least the first.
It has a dub now on Netflix.
And it's pretty damn
Well,
good.
Things have changed.
So after the fantastical, they fight these literally just fires, but they keep attacking them because the fires are turning into giant snakes. And then they send in their ace, who is the young rookie who is on his one of his earliest missions. Do you have good teeth? Bro, I have the shittiest teeth. But they're clean.
But you have a lot of them, dude. You have a big-ass pile of teeth in your house.
Yeah, dude. I keep them fresh.
He brushes them all the time.
Yeah. I just pour mouthwash all over them and then just shake them wildly, and that's how I keep them clean. I put them in a little tub and then I just shake them really crazy.
Also, sometimes he fills his washing machine up with teeth.
Yeah, dude.
Alright, Andy, who do you want to fight to get armor from?
Well, I'm just kind of getting through the very beginning of the game.
Yeah, if he's only on Kadachi, he's gonna need to fight story stuff, not building.
Everyone.
Yeah, literally everyone.
No,
that's
fine.
the
You're
third
just saying that
person.
You still don't have master rank armors.
I have 4 pieces of master rank armor.
Oh, you don't have.
okay.
Oh, you're right. Your armor is terrible. I thought I was dude, I'm fucking awful. I want to wear your face, bro. I feel that. Or broette. I don't judge.
Yes, you do. Yes, you do.
No,
you do.
I've been way better about that.
I literally come
But
to
I
you
still
to judge,
totally
me to judge things.
And I'm literally judging a movie right now.
I was just gonna say, I don't think you have a gender bias, just
Yeah, absolutely
people
not.
bias.
Absolutely. But I appreciate it. I try and keep myself clean.
I have insults for him.
Okay, fair enough. I don't know. I haven't heard from him. I'll hit him up later, see if he'll jump on too. So, fire people. So they fight the new dynamic kid who looks exactly like Kamina and gives big dynamic speeches before every battle in his personalized robot. Fights the fire people and then gets to the top. Where do I live? Ha ha ha, we've talked about it before. Watch the other streams, you'll find out. Go check them out.
It's really hot in Texas, by the way.
Yes, that is true.
Where Zach lives.
Yeah, where I live, Texas.
In
Super
the
hot.
capital of Texas, Alaska, Texas.
So fire people attack. They fight them, and then there's 3 people on top of this big building, who turns out are the heads of this fire terrorist organization. which they turn into badass fire demons, and then turn their fires into motorcycles so they can ride them. And they have this crazy, heavily animated battle with him and his robot, where just use fire powers up the ass, and it looks cool. It feels very meaningless, but it looks cool.
Like, the more you talk about this movie, the more I hate it. I'm sorry to say, I'm just burning with hatred.
Well, get ready, because you know what? Overarching feelings, it's like a 6 out of 10 at best. I think
It didn't look like anything I would like to watch aside from just to literally watch cool shit.
I mean, it does do that. I'll give it that.
It's cool that it was in theater. I will definitely give it that.
Yeah. I always like going to those big anime movies in theaters. It's a lot of fun. Mostly because I grew up when that would never, ever happen.
Have they put any anime movies on IMAX? Like
IMAX? I think Super Broly might have been in IMAX.
That's the only thing I can think of that'd be recent enough to be that popular.
Yeah. Anything else? I have no idea.
There's similar levels of popularity.
It could have been. I don't know if Two Heroes was in IMAX. 6 out of 10 like me cool wearing your skin.
Anime movie in IMAX.
I don't understand what you mean by that. 6 out of 10 like me wearing your skin. I don't get it.
He wants to wear your skin.
Well, but does that mean like you only want to wear my skin 6 out of 10 times? Or do you mean there's only a 6 out of 10 chance you'll wear my skin? I don't understand the context.
He suspects that wearing your skin would probably be a 6 out of 10 experience.
Oh,
Like,
I mean that could be.
But he wouldn't really go out of his way to do it again.
Or maybe he's really fat and it only fits 60% of him.
I don't know about all that. But
I'm sorry. I'm trying to insult this person, but I can't read what they're saying. I don't know where the street is.
I mean, I'm not trying to insult anybody. That's mean. We don't need to insult anybody. I don't know him like that, unless I do, and I don't.
In the garbage.
It could be somebody I just know. Yes, what the fat man said. I feel like they know who you are, Anthony.
It's okay.
I feel like I know who this person is, but I don't know who they are. Oh yeah, you did. I didn't even think about that. I mean, we dox all the time. That's like what we do, because we're garbage.
No,
I do. I'm accepting payments for pictures of a.
That's not true. You dox Tay all the time too, in retaliation.
I've never said where Tay is or where he works. I don't have to.
He said it already.
He literally has played commercials for his place of work
on multiple occasions. Yeah. I mean, hey, whatever.
Alright, time for some new armor, I think.
So anyway, they fight the big bad person. He is able to defeat them through sheer force of will, spirit, and a special new transformation mode of his new mech. But it falls to pieces, but they still stop the bad guy. Day is saved. He's the hero, and he runs into this big, tough, like fucking general guy. I forget his name. I think it was Vexen, or like it was something really stupid and edgy. Like it was supposed to be super cool, but he's just like the big brawny general guy who clearly is like kind of shady. Because like he seems like he's just hired for money, and he would like turn on the good guys even just for the dollar. Kind of like a Nappa character, I guess, but not quite like that kind of personality. And they get in the face of the heroes because they're like, oh, you're going past your jurisdiction because you're not the special soldier guys. You're just firefighters with crappy tech, and you guys are bad. And he's like, and then
we're not bad.
And then he's like, yeah, grr. And then
He's like, me bad, chomp, but chewy chomp, but chewy chomp.
and then the fire general man, like the leader of their firefighter team, is like, no, we're totally in our jurisdiction. And he's like, yeah, you are. I was just making a joke. And that was it. And then he left. But he took their prisoner with him, and it was like, no, you can't take our prisoner, but we're gonna let you anyway. I was like, okay.
I like the idea that this guy showed up. We're in our jurisdiction. Was this bitch on fire? That's our jurisdiction. We do the fire.
I mean,
You're not in the gathering hub, Andy.
I'm not in the gathering hub, Isaac.
What the fuck?
What is Viper Tobigadashi weak to? I don't have a high enough rank in Hunter Guns to see that.
I don't know. I can understand a man like that. I once went to prison for cannibalism. I mean, I feel it.
Sounds like a good man.
Yeah. Sounds like a guy who really gets out there, puts himself out there, and it just works really. Yeah, just a dude who just knows what he wants. Or lady who knows what she
he
wants.
Is weak to thunder first, ice second, and any ailment that isn't poison or paralysis.
So after they take the bad guy away, but they look super. Don't assume my gender. I know. I'm sorry. I try to get better. I'm sorry, Chuckleberry. You're right.
I'm not sorry. I always go off of assumptions until I'm proved wrong, and then deny that I was wrong in the first place.
It's true. He does do that.
Isaac's never been wrong about anything.
Never.
And he'll tell you that.
Absolutely. Every day of my life.
I just told you that.
Ha. Fuck. So they take the bad man and his goons away, but turns out the super dark person they've been chasing for 30 years looks like a kid. He looks like he's like 16. Well, he doesn't have a penis. I mean, I don't know for sure, so I can't say.
Who are we talking about? We're unsure about penile.
You.
Theo
Well,
Brando.
no one knows for sure.
So.
Theo!
They take the fireboy away and his firemen, and they're thrown into a cell with a bunch of like kids and women who are like beaten and like dying, and they're like, man, this is terrible. And then we cut to the heroes who are enjoying a big old thing of pizza. And you know what? They're really enjoying their fucking pizza.
Pizza!
Like, they order like 40 to 50 pizzas, and they just keep eating pizzas. And then while they're eating them, they're like, man, I'm glad we captured those guys. Like, we think all of the fire people are like actually good people, but these terrorists give them a bad name. And they're like, yeah, just because they're fire people doesn't mean they're bad. It just means they're fire people. And it's like, instantly I'm like, oh, okay, so the story is the fact that these fire people are actually not the bad guys, the government's the bad guys, they're being oppressed and taken advantage of. It's just the mutant storyline from every X-Men comic ever. But a Trigger anime movie. And that's pretty much the rest of the plot. Because then we're treated to the big leader general man, whose name is Cray Foresight. He's big general man. He wears a white suit and looks so cool and awesome, and he's a good guy. And then he presents our hero with a medal for stopping the evil fire terrorists. And after he presents him the medal, he's so honored because it turns out
just die. They just die.
Well, it turns out that general man was the guy who saved him as a kid from a fire, from one of the fire event things that are bad. And after he was saved, he's pretty much devoted his life to becoming a firefighter to represent his hero, the fireman governor of this city called it's called
That's the wrong guy, Andy. We're not fighting him.
I forget what it's called actually. It's like Proflare, something that's stupid. The city has a dumb name. But after that,
hey, look, Folger Anjanap.
After being treated to the fun of talking about terrorism and eating pizza and talking about stuff that's bad, like racism, the pizza place they're hanging out gets raided because turns out the guy who's working the oven was actually one of the fire people, but he hasn't done anything wrong, and then the government men take him away because they discriminate against fire people. After that, they get the heroes are like, ooh, that really grinds my gears, but we're not going to do anything about it because that would be bad. So after that, they fucking pick a huge fight, or the main dude rides his motorcycle to this icy river because it's where he cools off, because he says he would like to pick a fight with those general dudes and like their soldiers, but if he did, it would cause problems for the governor, and that's like his hero, and he doesn't want to do that. And I was like, all right, that makes sense. Actually, I get that, because it's like he devotes his life to him. Makes sense for for him to not want to fuck with stuff because it would fuck up the governor's life. So after that, the governor is like doing his governor stuff, and he sounds like a pussy. the hero, I mean, I guess a little. He's like the dynamic hero who just punches things and goes forward, but doesn't really do anything. So after this, the main female character, who surprisingly, one of the craziest things about this movie, honestly, the female characters are not extremely sexualized, which is insane for a Trigger anime. So you know what? Kudos, Trigger. That's a win for you guys. Good job. You kept it in your pants for once. There's only 2 shots of the main chick's ass, and that's it. And you know what? For Trigger, that's insanely progressive for them. So while they're hanging out, they ice skate on this ice river, and it's like this cute scene, and they're about to kiss, but then they see the fire in the sky, and they're like, oh shit, that must be something not good. And it turns out it was the fire dudes who escaped with a bunch of the fire people. Like, apparently the fire leader guy got captured on purpose so he could specifically so he could save the people who were captured. So they freed them very, very easily. After easily saving those people, they escape into a cave. The hero tells the one chick to go let the rest of the team know, and he will go investigate. He goes and finds a beaten up, dying child, and he holds a gun to that child. And then he's like, oh shit, these are kids. Probably shouldn't shoot them with ice guns. And then he gets karate chopped. And then we're given a bunch of more exposition from the fire leader terrorist. Because it turns out that the kids and them are dying because when they were captured, they were used for experiments by the governor. And it's like, oh no, that's not good. So the hero is not cool with that. So he, after being let free by the people, and then the fire people leave, he goes to the governor to confront him without telling his team, which is one of my least favorite tropes in like any anime, where you just don't tell the rest of the cast for no reason. Like, why wouldn't he tell anybody? Why wouldn't he, like... He's just like, no, I better confront the governor myself. That sounds like a good idea. So he goes, because he thinks it's a really good idea, and it turns out very poorly. He talks to the governor, and the governor tells him, yes, we are experimenting on fire people, but the reason why is because the planet's magma is exploding, and it's gonna cover the planet in 6 months. The only option we have is to create a spaceship and use the fire people as a fuel source, because their fire powers can create portals. And we're gonna use all of them and burn them till they die to make a super portal so we can teleport all of 10,000 of Earth's people to safety from the planet becoming a magma planet.
If there's only 10,000 people on Earth, that was way more than half.
No, there's only 10,000 people the ship can hold. There's like way more people than that, because it's like another plot point that like they're selecting specific people they feel should be kept alive, essentially. After which, after we find this out, the main hero guy's like, no, I'm not okay with this, because even though you're saving people lives, you're killing other people, because the fire people are just people too. And they're like, yeah, we knew you'd say that. And then they pull a gun on him, and then they lock him up in a room. I get them locking him up. Why didn't they just kill him? Now that I think about it, they didn't benefit from keeping him alive in any way. In fact, in like following scenes, we find out more about like the governor, and it makes less sense why he doesn't just kill him there.
Because the plot needs him to be alive.
Yeah, the plot needs him to be alive. That's why he's alive. That's why why they didn't just fucking shoot him when they had a gun right to his back and he could do nothing about it. So anyway, he gets locked up, and then the fire people who went into hiding have been found out where they are, because they just hid somewhere, and they found out a way to track their heat signatures somehow, because the plot said they needed to know how to find them. So the government people corner them and start like blowing them away in this like actually really cool animated scene of like these people trying to all getting like turned to ice essentially, and then like the three demon guys trying to fight them off with cool fire powers. It's pretty dope. But then like the main fire leader gets turned to ice, like it's ice shard in his chest, because this old man that they saved actually betrayed them. So he like is slowly turning to ice because they used a special absolute zero bullet. And they're like, his ice...
I really hope they said that in the best English they could afford.
It was in... I watched the English version, so I don't know.
No, but I still hope they said it in English.
I mean, in the English version, they did not. In the sub version, I don't know. It comes out like in a couple days. But yes, they overemphasize that it is an absolute zero bullet, and they say it multiple times.
The absolute zero bullet.
Yeah.
No.
And then like
not the absolute zero bullet.
After they point out
absolute zero bullet.
After pointing out that they use the absolute zero bullet, like. So his two allies essentially allow themselves to get captured so he could get away. And then when they do, he's like the general guy's like, oh, he won't get very far. That absolute zero bullet will do its job, and he will not be able to escape. Like anytime they bring up him being shot, they bring up that they use the absolute zero bullet. So anyway, so with him launched into a volcano and slowly freezing to death, he's in a really bad spot. The rest, then we go to the rest of our heroes, who the one chick is really conflicted with everything going on because his team essentially doesn't know what's happening to him, because they found out that the main dude's been arrested, but they don't know why or any details because he didn't tell them anything. The chick's not cool with it, so she goes to her sister, who's a scientist who works for the governor directly. We then
A lousy warrior, though.
we then find out that her sister essentially is helping set up this whole project, but is not cool with it, but is only cool with it because it will save her sister. And then they go to the fire dude, who's like really upset that they captured all of his fire people. So he goes into a bursting flame of rage, which looks pretty dope, and he becomes a literal fire dragon, which he is sworn to destroy the entire city now, because before they never harmed civilians, and that's like a big part of his terrorist organization's motto, is they don't harm people unless they have to. So now he's like burning the city down, and then when he's doing it, he destroys like the cage that's like essentially just an entire wall that's holding the main dude by coincidence. And then he's like, "Oh man, is that one guy from earlier? It sure is. I better stop him." So he goes to his firefighter team, gets his robot, and decides to punch the other guy when he's a fire dragon. Which works. He fights the fire dragon dude until they lock him in a cage, and they just start punching the shit out of each other for like 5 minutes while they talk. And you know what? I dig that. Yeah, I love that like super macho anime thing of just like you can have a calm like discussion while punching each other, and like a dramatic fight. You can just like discuss things. It's really dumb, but I kind of liked it even in this movie, just because it's so ridiculous. So the chick so by the way, the main female chick locked them in her plane, like her essentially plane that she pilots, to get them to out of the city. That sounds pretty homoerotic to me. Them locked in a tiny room punching each other while talking. Dude, that's dope, bro. Or lady. It's pretty fun. I thought it was pretty cool. I like that stupid overly macho garbage. After they beat them to like beat each other, the main female chick drops them into the frozen lake from earlier to literally cool them off. And it works. They calm down. They melt, since he's like super fiery right now. It literally just instantly turns the entire lake, the iced lake, into steam, which they did some pretty cool animation shit with that. It looked pretty fucking dope. Like seeing them like burn through the center of an ice lake and then having it like sprawl out into just steam in like a big crater. It looked pretty dope.
Isaac, are you using a blast weapon as well?
Yes.
Awesome.
With maximum blast added to it.
Then after that, good old the rivers like all calm down. They both have calmed down, and they're like, all right, we both hate this guy. We're gonna beat the shit out of him and save the planet. And they're like, sure.
There we go. I've never pulled that off before. Awesome.
No, he's using a butt plug. I don't know what you mean, but I don't know where that came from. Oh, when he was using a blast weapon. I mean, it'd probably be just as effective.
Monster Hunter, there's been weird weapons.
Yeah, a bit weird. Let's try effective. Yeah, easy win. So after they melt, or like literally turn the
Let's just
chasm
walk
into
through you.
steam. They find an
Barely.
old abandoned science facility in the lake, frozen. And apparently it's not wet; it is completely untouched. Then a weird ghost thing appears and says like two main guys who he says by their exact name, come with me, I need your help. And they're like,
If you want to live.
then they just kind of look at each other and then they just go for it. Like they don't even hesitate. They hesitate for 1 second and then just go for it. After they go in, even the chick's like, why the fuck would you do that? Don't follow the weird ghost thing. So all three of them go into this science facility. Turns out we're given another exposition dump, so there's 3 in the entire film. Turns out this man is a backup AI of the conscious of a scientist who made all of the anti-fire people systems and like teleportation tech and like literally everything they use in that current society. But the reason the governor made all of it and used it and did this and that was because he actually shot and killed that man and stole all of his ideas. I got some free candy in my ghost van. Exactly, that's what happened. He was like, they were just like, They like just looked at each other like, should we? And then instantly were like, yeah, we probably should. It was pretty stupid. I was like, whatever. I mean, that didn't surprise me that much because I've seen like people do way dumber stuff in in just comic books and video games and stuff. So them just following a ghost for no reason, I mean, I was like, whatever. That wasn't the most ridiculous thing.
Damn it, we're in the bad gathering area.
I'm still in a cutscene.
I bet you are. Tobias Kodachi's actually got some pretty good weapons. It's also funny because he has both poison and paralysis weapons, depending on which weapon you get.
I was hoping for a double one with dual swords.
No, sadly. Well, I don't know about the max version. I don't think so, though.
Damn, that was pretty dope.
Whoops, that's sword and shield.
So after they follow this ghost and he tells them he's the scientist, he made all this stuff, he explains to them that the reason the planet is going to explode is because turns out the fire they use just looks like fire. It's not fire at all. It's actually aliens.
Okay.
Called he is personally dubbed the Promare. Turns out that they are an alien organism that looks like fire, and the fire they use to power and use their attacks and stuff is just bits of their energy because they come from another dimension, and their dimension had a wormhole that ripped them into the core of the Earth. And apparently, they're connected to every fire user, so because of this, when all the fire users are in immense pain and will eventually be killed by this warp thing, it will instantly detonate the entire planet because they feel their pain and they'll freak out and then kill everything and just blow up the planet essentially. And they just want to go home. And it's like, oh man, that's fucking weird. Literally during this exposition dump, the other two characters, the chick and the fire guy, are like, man, that's crazy. So my fire is aliens. And the other chick's like, man, to think all of this has been happening right under our noses. And then the main dude is literally has bubble in nose, falling asleep every other shot. Because much like the audience, it was boring. And I didn't care about this fucking twist.
Can you guys hear me right now? I've been messing with my mic.
Yeah, I can hear you fine.
Okay,
Yeah, there's a button to turn it on and off, and I clicked it.
Yeah.
And didn't realize I did that.
Ah, no,
Sorry to cut you off. This
So
movie is
there
fucking
is-
terrible.
so after this, the group decides, all right, so we have to stop this launch. How are we gonna do that? I will smile, you uglies. I'll smile, you uglies later. Feel fair enough.
Peace out, bro.
Yeah, see ya.
Bye.
It's cool talking to you.
No, it wasn't.
So after this fun adventure to finding out that they are aliens, it turns out the scientist has prepared for this all along and has literally prepared a super giant fighting robot for just such an occasion. Dick. He's calling you out, Andy.
Good.
Or she.
See, I'm not the gender assumer here. I'm just an asshole.
It's fair.
That basically makes you a Nazi, Zach, and people should punch you as you walk down the street.
I'd probably deserve it if I wasn't so pretty.
You do.
He does deserve it. So, Amy, there is a new dual type sword, though.
Oh.
The Rathian and Rathalos ones. Which
Is
are
it
poison
fire and poison? Okay.
Fuck. Got melted.
That's all it makes sense for it to be.
And as is appropriate, you build it off the Kulu Yaku tree.
Well, all
touch
the
point.
Rathalos stuff is
Damn it, they didn't
somewhat
touch.
annoying to get to.
Dude, I love this, because you build Kulu Yaku, and then once you get it to Master Rank, you can either build it into Tigrix, probably Brute Tigrix, I don't have whoever that is, weaponry unlocked, and then Rathalos and Rathian weapons.
I was trying to creep you out, but it didn't work. Yeah. Oh, it was you. Oh. Oh, hi, James.
Oh, hi, Mark.
No, trust me, that won't work. I told you, we're just chill, man. Yeah, there's nothing. It's pretty hard to get me off my game in terms of me not giving shit about everything.
Yeah, it's true.
But yeah, we're chill.
So Zach, you're gonna hate this, but I haven't seen any of All Elite except for the fucking one we went to see. So I need to catch up.
That is terrible. That's 4 pay-per-views.
I know.
And the show starts in 2 weeks from tomorrow. Or from today
And according
now.
to Jim Cornette, a lot of it sucks.
I mean, he's a very opinionated man. And I appreciate
It
it.
sounds like he liked
But-
every main event, though.
Did it? I thought he liked
It
every
sounds
Cody
like-
match.
He really
I don't
liked the him and his brother.
Yeah, him and Dustin. Whew, they killed it. Wait.
Mr. Andy.
Whoa. My connection's freaking out.
Nah, it's a new anime called Carolyn Tuesday. Just came up on Netflix a couple days ago. So it's in English.
Hmm.
Because Netflix does not do Japanese shit. Not in America.
That's right.
That's not entirely true. But yeah. There's
Well,
also
Netflix-
plenty of shows.
Netflix's
Your
approach
stream
to
is jumping
seasonal
around. Yeah,
anime
trust me,
in-
I've it's jumping around in gameplay too.
Um,
I
Anyway,
think I'm
so
good
it's
now.
called Carolyn Tuesday. The first half of the first season's out, and there's like a proper like mid-season finale for it. So it's not like, oh, here's the last episode. They did that with Baki the Grappler. That was really annoying. It was just some random episode, and that was the last episode they had for like 6 months.
Oh, you mean just Grappler Baki or Baki the Grappler? Two separate things.
Whichever. Anyway,
Yeah, but that doesn't tell me which one it was.
I don't know which one it is. It's one of the two. I didn't realize there was one that was Baki the Grappler and the Grappler Baki.
The Grappler Baki is the recent Netflix original one. Baki the
That's the one I'm
Grappler
talking
was like an '06 like anime. Take some
They're the
LSD
same show.
and it, huh? They follow the
They're the
same
same
arc
show.
at one point. Won't be as trippy.
Well, technically, the Netflix one is a sequel.
Yes, because it's a different arc. Apparently, the manga's been running for like years and years and years.
Anyway, yeah, like episode 12 or 13, they just stop.
For like,
There's an episode where they go to America to get some really tough inmate character and bring him to Japan. And they introduce him, they show him being real cool and tough, and that's the end of the episode. Or that's the end of what they had. That's it. Like,
See
not
you
this
6
big
months.
climax of, oh my god, what will this character do? It's just, alright, let's go to Japan.
dope.
What
more
so
do
it's
you
called
need?
Carolyn Tuesday. And it's about two girls who just really want to do music, and they group up together to do music. And there's some really dope music segments, and there's some really hilarious shit in there once in a while. But the big hook is it's directed by Shinichiro Watanabe, the director of Cowboy Bebop and Samurai Champloo.
Oh.
And he loves him some music. So,
Interesting.
actually, so far, it's like one of my favorite works of his. I don't know if I like it better than Bebop or Shampoo so far. It's hard to say because those are
I
both very
can't really pick a
episodic,
favorite. I can't pick a favorite out of those two either. So
I like Champloo
but it's
better.
very different. Because one, the characters are on the younger side. Two, it's a female-led cast rather than a male-led cast.
all right, so
it
I'm in your
actually has a
fancy
plot.
gathering hub.
Oh.
You can see me in my stupid snow boots.
Whoops. I need to head over there myself. It sent me straight to Astera, and I just forgot to switch back.
So my cousin told me about this anime that maybe you guys can help me remember the name. The name is really a little bit cringy.
Okay.
It's an idol show. Idols are basically terrorists and fighting the government.
I don't know.
I have absolutely no fucking clue.
And like, it's
Yeah.
The only
Outer
idol
space
show I've
show.
ever watched / enjoyed was Zombieland Saga.
Yep. And I've heard of like
even
two
then,
others.
Zombieland Saga is like everything I liked about it had nothing to do with them being idols. Like the idol segments were probably the worst segments.
I don't know.
Also because they
They're
kept doing them in really terrible CG.
I love their rap battle, so I can't agree.
The rap battle is great, and the death metal bit in the first episode is fantastic, and like every other one is boring and forgettable.
Yeah.
Wait, what? What's boring and forgettable?
The rest of the music
Zombieland?
segments.
The singing,
yeah.
the singing parts in Zombieland Saga after the first couple
Yeah,
episodes.
but their manager is
Yeah,
like
you
the
could just
best
replace that
character.
with Weird Al songs if they really wanted to.
Dude, the
And
manager's
the
like
manager's the best character.
he's so
the
great.
manager's one of the best characters in the anime.
I'd like to see him and Reagan have like a talk show.
But it'd be great. God, that's such a good show. Check out Mob Psycho. Like, I don't care
I saw
what
the
you
second
like.
season.
I
It's
don't,
so good.
I don't care what franchises you like, what genres you prefer. If you don't like anime, you don't like cartoons, you don't like movies, you don't like watching things, you should probably watch Mob Psycho 100 though.
If you're blind and deaf,
Yeah, you should probably watch Mob Psycho 100.
attempt to at least.
No, you should watch it. I didn't say attempt. I said you do it. That's been on my list for a while to watch. Actually, better check that shit off real soon, bro. It's really good. Like, God, season
It's
1
pretty
was
short, too,
really.
I mean.
It's 26 episodes with the season 1
was
and 2.
solid.
Season 1
pretty
was
good.
good, and season 2 is fucking phenomenal.
Yeah, I completely
Season
agree.
1 had the bad luck of being sandwiched between One Punch Man and My Hero Academia.
So you say sandwich, but it came out a year afterwards.
It came out the same year as My Hero.
Yeah, as My Hero. I think it was
Yeah,
during the
and
same watch
fucking
cycle too. And you know what?
One
Real
Punch
talk,
Man.
I
Clarify.
didn't like season 1 of My Hero when I first watched it. It took until the finale for me to like My Hero and decide to keep watching it.
Wow.
I
When
I liked the
liked
first episode.
season one of
during
My Hero. I
during the
loved
Nomu
season 2.
fight, I ended up liking My Hero. Went back and really appreciated the first several episodes a lot because I rewatched it like 4 times. As for the rest of My Hero, I've never had any issues at all. Because it's given me something to love every time.
What's the countdown on the new season, Isaac?
October
What's the countdown?
12th. October 12th. October 12th is the next start of the next season.
I think it's October 13th.
It might be 13th. It's right there. Yeah, we're very close. It's like 3 to 4 weeks away, give or take. And Funimation has confirmed it will come out the same day as it does in Japan.
Nice.
So they will not. They have no intentions of being behind, because it's literally like the hottest show right now.
I mean, yeah.
Like, it's the hottest manga, it's the hottest anime. It literally is like the biggest show since like fucking.
In the
mean,
U.S. anyway.
Man, it's really big in Japan too, though. But yes, in the U.S.,
It's really
it is
big,
the
but it
biggest.
is not
Period.
in Japan, it's beaten out pretty regularly by the other big Shonen Jump titles.
Well, One Piece beats it out like every time, but it is true. It
In
has,
fact, My Hero, I think, ranks around 5th place regularly
yeah, as of
in
late.
the Shonen Jump rankings.
It's because Black
Every, like,
Clover is
half
very popular in Japan. Dr. Stone is really popular, which I've been watching that too. Man, it's great. I absolutely love it. I
Yeah,
have really, really enjoyed it.
That's what I like about current Shonen Jump. All their biggest titles have something different going for it.
Yeah.
I also love that Demon Slayer and Black Clover are like polar opposites in the context of Demon Slayer is
That
a
I can't say, 'cause
fantastic
I haven't watched
anime
Demon Slayer.
and an okay manga.
Yeah.
You have to watch cutscenes before I can join. Whereas Black Clover is a terrible anime and a pretty solid manga.
I've heard that has drastically changed, but yes. I've heard the anime has been very
I jumped
good
in on some of the more
consistently.
recent stuff. Granted, this was around 6 months ago or so. But I jumped in on the more recent stuff.
Some say yes, so recent. But yeah, no, fair enough.
Well, it was recent enough where people were saying, "No, the anime's a lot better now." Like anime's been a lot. The anime's a lot better thing had been going on for a while. So I jumped back into it, tried watching a few episodes, and had pretty much the same problems, which is this shit that went by in the blink of an eye in a manga takes so goddamn long in the anime. This fight lasted a chapter and a half. It's gonna be 5 episodes. Whereas Demon Slayer, the manga's not bad by any stretch, but like the pacing is kind of all over the place. The art's not terribly good, but it's not terrible either. And sometimes the only okay art works to make shit a lot funnier.
Jeez.
Almost.
You good?
Sometimes because
Sorry.
No, you're fine. Just want to make sure you actually are fine.
Oh, I'm working on my coffee pot, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, I get you.
Ooh, that's not
Anyway, I haven't checked out the Promised Neverland manga yet. That's one that I really kind of just want to wait for the anime to pick back up.
But yes, I've also heard that manga does exceptionally well as well.
All of the big manga, big Shonen Jump titles kind of jump around in popularity, but My Hero has regularly placed around 4th or 5th. The superhero thing is just not as popular in Japan as it is in the U.S.
Not even by a long shot. Though Marvel is actually very popular in Japan, actually.
No, I know it's still popular. It's just not like a craze like it is in America.
Hell, they even have their own terrible anime.
A few of them.
Well, I'm not saying like the Marvel anime that also came out, but I'm talking about like the actual like there's actually one called Avengers that's like a kids anime that's out right now.
Oh.
It's about little kids who get these like little spinners that transform them into your favorite Avengers characters.
That's like super marketing.
Yeah. So it's pretty bad, but there's one thing I'll give it that's pretty awesome, and that's the fact that so obviously it's only in Japanese because it hasn't been like localized at all. But one cool thing about that is so the Japanese voice for Deadpool in that show, because there is a Deadpool character in the show, is actually the same voice actor who plays Dio.
Oh.
Which is it's just great having Dio scream chimichangas.
Oh my god.
So for that alone, it at least gets a one like point, but it's fucking bad.
Chimichangas.
Chimichanga.
So I love Team 4 Star's JoJo in 5.5 minutes.
I actually didn't care for it, to be honest.
What? Fuck you.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
didn't.
surprisingly, I didn't either.
Yeah.
I thought it was fine. It was fun.
Sorry.
He just keeps killing dogs.
I mean, it's true. He did. Well, I mean, he beats dogs and then he kills one. Yeah. Not to mention, bro, Phantom Blood is great. Love Phantom Blood. And I know one person who fully agrees with me that it's actually amazing.
Me?
Two people who totally agree with me that it's actually amazing. My cousin Jared as well agrees that it is one of his favorite arcs.
I would... See, I'm in a tricky spot because I don't like Phantom Blood, but those first 3 episodes are so fucking good.
Yeah, I love
Like,
Phantom Blood.
The introduction of Jonathan and Dio is actually probably one of the best arcs in the show, period.
He stands that he loves the fact that it's like an early Jack Kirby comic, in the sense that you just throw ideas out there and just run with it.
I mean, that's pretty much just what JoJo's always done.
Yeah, but in that, it feels the most accurate. Because, like, literally, I mean, he fights Jack the Ripper. They, like, literally, at first, it's a show about 2 brothers, one who's totally bad and one who is not. And then, but then it turns into, oh no, one of the brothers is a magic lightning user and the other is a vampire. It's like, it's just pure, like, it's just shit just comes out of nowhere for no reason, and it's great for it. Plus, I love the dichotomy of, like, the super fantastic, charismatic villain, Dio Brando, and, like, I mean, yes, the cardboard cutout Jonathan Joestar, but him being just the good guy works really well with such a charismatic villain. Plus, I don't really like Dio in his version in 3, and I'll be real, I hate the Pillarmen. I don't like them. I think they're very bad. I think Cars sucks. I think Wamu is only good because in comparison he's good. I think he's actually not very good.
When I went back and rewatched Battle Tendencies, because that was my absolute opinion the first time I watched it. When I went back and watched it, I actually liked the Pillarmen a lot more. Specifically Wamu, I really enjoyed.
Sure.
Yeah, I like Wamu.
I just don't like it. I've seen the villain who actually has like a code of honor done much better elsewhere.
Yeah, but here's the thing. My opinion on done much better elsewhere. Uh, my big thing with that is always, well, how much screen time do they have?
Well, like, I mean,
Because I
Wamu
found,
has quite a bit.
not all in all, like he has more screen time than the other Pillar Men, but
I think the only Pillarman who has more screen time than him is Cars. And
Cars has very little screen
even
time,
then, yeah, I was
honestly.
about to say even then he doesn't actually have very much. Which again stands the fact that the weakest part of that arc is its villains. I love its supporting cast, and Joseph is fantastic.
Yeah, he is.
Like, he is honestly probably my favorite Joestar. Even Old Man
Jonathan?
Joestar, even no Joseph.
No, Joseph. Oh yeah.
Jonathan I like a lot too, but Joseph is my favorite Joestar. His pure ridiculousness and the fact that he essentially is just super lucky and really clever. Because he's not even like super smart. He's just really clever. I like
And a
that.
dick.
He's a huge dick. Which, to be fair, all the
It's
Joestars after Jonathan are huge
Yeah.
assholes. Which is what I like. I think that's why I like Jonathan, is because I like the Captain America. I like just the good guy. Like, that's who he is. He's a good guy. That's his character. That's his personality.
my biggest complaint with Jonathan is just I wish he was more dynamic.
See, but like I feel
Like,
like he didn't need to be, and I think that's why I like him. Because like the other Jojes are so dynamic, sometimes
not
to their detriment.
no, I just mean in the context of he just kind of goes along with the series. Doesn't really influence the series much.
I mean, he does stab him with a sword in a burning building, which is pretty dope.
Yeah, but that's just fighting the villain. That's not influencing the series.
I mean, he does find the stone mask, and without that, we would have never gotten the vampires or the research on the vampires.
The Stone Mask was just in their house.
Oh, he was doing archaeology work, and that's how he found it. And he
Nope.
even looked
That
into
was
everything to
okay.
find out what it is.
No, that was in their house. It was literally hanging up during their
Oh,
first fight when Jonathan was a kid.
oh. Well, I mean, still, he's the one who did all the research on it. He's the one who figured out what it was and how it worked.
Right. Um, I mean, it's not like none of the other Joestars have a similar issue. Like, you could very much argue, like,
The Jotaro doesn't do anything except
oh,
punch things.
hey, at least it's not Giorno whose big contribution is he fixes things.
It's fair. I don't know. I haven't seen anything past part 3, and I haven't finished part 3, so I can't say for any future Joj, but for the
My
first
biggest,
3, Joseph's my favorite,
I'd say,
Jonathan's my second, Jotaro's my least favorite,
I'd say,
but I still like him.
um, for me, Joseph isn't just
Umpire.
my favorite Joestar. I think he's honestly the best in the anime.
Sure. I mean, I've
Because all
also
the other
read the
Joestars,
manga.
uh, all the Joestars have. Well, time for me to drown. Oh, never mind. He saved me. Uh, now I'm stunned though.
All the Joestars.
Um, all the Joestars have flaws, like major flaws, in terms of being the main character.
It's fair
Giorno and Jotaro are too much background characters.
in their own show, right?
Yeah. Giorno especially, like, fucking... Chris missed, like, the first couple episodes of Part 5 and had no idea what the fuck Giorno even really wanted.
See, I'm not that far
Uh,
either.
It's like part 5.
Yep.
So,
I'm
meh.
up to Diamond is Unbreakable, like
Yeah, it's part 4.
20 some episodes in.
Oh, yeah, that's
So.
part 4. So you're
And I'm not
you're
really
way
digging
closer
it
than
that
I am.
much.
I stopped watching only because part 3's not readily available to me, unfortunately, unless I watch it all subbed. Which I'm willing, but I haven't.
I can tell you,
So
I can send you a website that works for it.
I mean, I'm sure I could find some illicked website, but I mean, I don't know. I guess I just don't really care enough. Plus, part like the next shit is just really long. So I switched to reading the
Yeah.
manga. I read all of part one, part two, and almost all of part three in manga form. And it's pretty good. I've actually enjoyed reading the manga quite a lot. Um,
Uh, I read part 6 and about the first quarter of part 7. I kind of fell off reading it, to be honest.
um, yeah, I read them in physical copies, so I've fallen. I've not continued much. Um,
I actually would highly recommend the Shonen Jump app. I got that, and so far I've been liking it quite a bit. Um, it's like a really dirt cheap subscription, and for a lot of shows it has like most, if not all, the chapters. Like I think it has all of My Hero.
yeah.
Um,
I read
I
My
believe
Hero
that.
off of Viz though, but fair.
I believe it has up to part 4 of JoJo.
It's dope.
Um, and we'll likely get up to part 6 of JoJo, but not any past sets since Shonen Jump doesn't have the rights to part 7 or 8.
Fair enough.
After part 6, with having to deal with so much of Shonen Jump's bullshit, Araki switched to a different magazine and started doing monthly.
Yeah, I heard about that. But
Because there's a lot of shit with part 6 where you're like, oh wow, Shonen Jump just really wanted this.
um, but anyway,
Shonen Jump
with
forced them to
fucking
switch the sexuality of a character.
yeah, I'm aware.
That's just really bizarre. No pun intended.
That's the idea. So it's fine.
Um,
I don't know. Everyone knows Shonen Jump's like fucking fucked up.
yeah.
But that's mostly Sueisha's fault, not entirely Shonen Jump itself's fault. It's who owns Shonen Jump.
That being said, fucking, yeah, no, like I was saying earlier, Shonen Jump's lineup right now is like the best I think I've ever seen it.
Yeah, quite a long time.
At least for me. At least in my opinion.
Yeah.
Like, all of its big shows for me are all fantastic.
Yeah, I'm not big on Promised Neverland, but I don't really like horror, so even if it's more of a thriller. But
I was about to
I
say,
know I got on a
there's
huge
horror in it.
yeah, no, I know about this show. I've read the manga or like a good chunk of it. Um, I'm just it's not for me. It seems good
That's
though.
fair.
But yeah, I know I got huge sidetracked, but the end of Promare. So,
Oh, we never got to the end? I thought we finished it already.
no, we got to the giant robot, and then we didn't get to the what happens after they get their giant robot made for just this such an occasion. So, turns out this giant robot is made specifically to use the same engine that destroys the Promares or the fire people to power it. But this one doesn't hurt them and just uses their maximum power in conjunction with the humans. So, he has the fire leader and the main character do it. And even the main chick's like, why these two specifically, and why did you choose these two? And then he says specifically, they were the ones who showed up. It was just a complete coincidence. And she immediately asked him what would happen if no one showed up. And he said, well, then I guess the governor would have succeeded and all the planet would be gone. They're like, oh. Well, okay. So they use their ultimate firepower combined with their human firefighter spirit to turn this clunky robot that's called Deus Ex Machina into the ultimate
Spoiler
fighting
alert.
machine, which is like, I forget, it's like the combination of the two main characters' names, but it sounds very anime. And then it gets a fire demon armor, kind of like the fire people do, and it looks like Gurren Lagann. After that,
That's just Gurren Lagann with extra steps.
but then they use it right. They use this to fly into outer space to fight the giant ship. which they get on it and they start beating the shit out of the ship, but it's really big and the hull is too strong. And admittedly, it's a pretty funny scene seeing them just try and beat the shit out of a giant ship and doing nothing to it.
Andy, get him!
I did it!
Like, literally one part of it,
orbital.
he just leaps into the sky and screams a like burning fire spirit kick, and it's like this huge dramatic animated dive kick, but then just like puts a dent in the top of it, and they just keep kicking it, and he yells kick every time they just stamp on this one spot. It was pretty fucking funny.
I don't think anything will top fucking Kamina's manliness kick. I can't remember the name of it.
Oh yeah,
The second episode of Gurren Lagann, where he drop kicks a robot and busts the legs of his own robot.
Yeah. Oh, I love all of his random named attacks, and that's why the main character and him are the exact same character. So after this big dramatic show of manliness, and they beat up this ship, turns out the chick who like had second thoughts was confirmed that they pretty much tell her, yeah, your sister might not be on the ship now, but we tried to get her on, so you just have to live with the fact that we are not going to save one life to sacrifice 10,000. And she was like, I understand, and then activates the warp drive. But turns out she overloaded it and did this on purpose, and it broke the super warp drive device.
Wait for it.
After the super warp drive device was broken, they're like, alright, we got a chance, and then they start punching it and kicking it some more.
They just beat the shit out of this fucking spaceship.
But now it's actually starting to throw them off their axis, so it's actually fucking up their flight pattern. So the governor decides, I have no choice, I have to take care of this myself. So a piece of the ship starts coming off, because it turns out it breaks off into a giant fighting robot. Because anime.
Right.
And then he confirms to the kid that, like the main dude, that, yeah, the reason I saved you is that I never saved you. I actually was a fire person all along, and I actually was keeping my fire powers in check, but then one time I couldn't hold it any longer, and then I burned down your house. And when I did, you just so happened to come out of it, so I didn't save you. It was just an opportunity I could use to get favor and show the world that I'm actually like super great, and then eventually become governor. And then turns out the reason he made the kid a Fire Force member and everything, even though it's not called Fire Force, but it's totally Fire Force, is because it's the most dangerous job, and he wanted the kid to fucking die. Because every part of his plan was working, except for the fact this kid won't fucking die.
That's just murder, but with extra steps.
Yeah. So again, this, as I said earlier, this makes it seem even weirder, since all he wants to do is kill this fucking character. Why the fuck didn't he just shoot him earlier?
Plot,
exactly. So anyway, after plot, his giant robot comes on, and then he has his assistant control the ship, and they're trying to fire it up. They then crash into the hull, because like essentially the ship is made from a section of the city. They break through the top of the ship, and then like go into the cityscape, but like inside of the ship. And it actually is an amazing set piece, and the fight they have is actually pretty fucking dope. Like, it just looks cool. If anything, like, the movie's kind of worth seeing just for this really fucking cool fight in that part. Because then, like, his giant robot keeps using special weapons, but they're made for, like, surviving on, different planes. Like, it has a laser that terraforms mountains for farming. But, like, he was gonna use it on their mech to turn it into freaking dirt. And then he had like shit like a giant super frosted essentially spear made for cutting through hard like bedrock. Like basically it made perfect sense for them to have like all this shit on this mech, and it's just funny how over the top it is because of it. Also, it was kind of amusing that the main hero character kept giving everything, like even his enemies' attacks and mech, super dynamic anime names, and the villain was very pissed off that he keeps fucking giving it stupid ass names.
God damn it! Stop!
He's using the terraformorphic laser.
That's not what it's called.
It's fucking dirt laser.
It's fucking dirt.
It's the dirt beam.
Fuck. Eat my fucking dirt beam. So after they break the dirt beam and fight, like they're starting to get pushed back, they're like, what can we do? And he's like, if only I had my original mech with its cool original firefighter themed weapons and stuff. And he was like, okay. So then, like, the fire dude forms, like, his spear that's, like, shit on it from the beginning of the movie, essentially out of fire. And he says, stuff like this really fires me up. And then he uses it and beats the shit out of the bad guy's mech.
Why did that be something really cool than something really bad?
No, dude, he's really fired up because of stuff like this. And then he fights the villain with it. And starts
Fire
beating him
punk.
back.
I was hoping he had fire nunchucks, actually, but...
But then they get to the top of the thing, and then after the whole base is overloaded, the governor fires up his ultimate weapon, which is essentially shape-shifting the giant mech into a huge-ass turret that fires absolute zero laser. The ultimate weapon. Which is just a giant ice beam that like freezes it to instantly reverts things heat to absolute zero. And
everything.
so yes.
Literally everything it touches would revert to absolute zero then.
Yes, which is what happens actually. Like the ground and everything it hits just turns into pure ice instantly.
And everyone dies and the movie's over.
Well, I mean, it's not that fucking big. It's just one robot. And as I said, their robots are not very big. Like, these robots, to be fair, were like mech size.
Alright, I'll be right back. Hold on.
So after this super battle continues, the laser comes out and they're like, no, we're not going to back off. And then they just start walking through the giant ice beam, and then even the fire leader is like, why are you doing this? Why aren't you avoiding his attack? And he's like, because I'm gonna punch right through. And he's like, dude, you're the biggest fucking idiot on the goddamn planet. Literally calls him the dumbest person on Earth. And he's like, yeah, I'm the dumbest firefighter on the planet. Because he's really fucking proud of this. This is also like a point in the show that everyone calls him fucking stupid, but he's like super proud of this fact that he's dumb as
The title of this stream, this particular one, is "I'm the dumbest fucking firefighter on the planet."
You know what? That's a good idea. I will absolutely rename it. I'm the dumbest firefighter on the goddamn planet. It's just one of those things where...
I bet there's no videos titled that on YouTube.
Hell yeah. It's literally just one of those things where they wanted to capture the magic that was Gurren Lagann with the big dynamic stupid hero, but without realizing what made that show so good. And it was really the characters, which the characters in this movie are fucking boring and easily forgettable, because I couldn't name one of them, and I just saw the movie 2 hours ago. And I couldn't tell you one of their names because I don't remember any of them. I remember what they all looked like and what happened the entire movie, but I couldn't name any of them.
I mean, just for the point of the story is just like George and Dave.
That's why I've said
And then
fire
like,
people, because I can't remember what that race of fire people are called.
I would have named them after classic wrestlers, honestly. And
The
then
characters.
Dusty Rhodes.
And then Dusty Rhodes, baby, came out
The
and gave him
American Japanese dream.
the Japanese dream, baby. The dumbest firefighter in the whole goddamn world. Baby. Anyway.
Then the Undertaker summoned his big ice robot.
Shot the absolute zero bullet.
The Undertaker shot him.
I'll have to remember that next time I do like a movie something breakdown. I'll just, if I can't remember a name, I'll just use a wrestler.
I want to be involved, and we will do it intentionally.
Hell yeah, I'm so down. Let's fuck, what can we watch that's really just like we can just watch?
We have to make it something that's not like something you really like, so we can make fun of it.
Make it something that I do really like.
Don't really like.
I don't really like. I can easily make fun of something I like though, as well. Something I don't really. No, I don't want to watch my least favorite movie of all time.
We could recap a Dragon Ball Z movie and then have it as like.
Oh yeah, you know what? We'll watch my least favorite Dragon Ball Z movie and we'll break it down.
Broly?
No, I actually do like Legendary Super Saiyan. I don't like Broly Second Coming or Bio Broly. No, I know. I like Broly the Legendary Super Saiyan.
No,
the
that
original.
one's really good.
Yeah.
Or the new one.
Yeah, Dragon Ball Super Broly. Yeah, that one's really, really good.
Yeah.
I actually don't mind Legendary
Broly
Super
as a
Saiyan.
villain that much. He was just fucking
I didn't either. He was just big, tough guy. I admittedly love that fight though. No, my least favorite Dragon Ball movie is Return of Cooler, the second Cooler movie.
So you like Dragon Ball Evolution?
I don't talk about the live action movies. By the way, there's more than one, and it wasn't just the Americans who made them.
I've heard.
Because
I've also seen the European dubs stuff, which is hilarious.
yeah, it's great.
Kamehameha!
Kamehameha!
I'm sorry, I think I cut you off though. What was your least favorite movie?
I told you, Return of Cooler.
Oh.
The second Cooler
Return
movie.
of Cooler. Yeah, that one was pretty.
The animation is terrible. The action is bad. It literally ruins.
Really bad.
It ruins literally my favorite movie villain, which is Cooler.
Damn.
Like, dude, Cooler's Revenge is so good. I love Cooler's Revenge. Cooler is such a great villain, but they ruin him by making him a fucking robot. From the Big Getty star, which by the way is named after spaghetti.
Yeah.
Which is fucking stupid.
They love their puns in Dragon Ball.
They sure do. They love their wordplay with names and vegetables.
Isn't that right, Vegeta?
Yep. And his good old brother, Tarble.
Terrible, yeah. And his brother, Kane.
And his brother Kane. But yeah, I'll rewatch my least favorite Dragon Ball movie, and we'll break it down on stream, but replace every character's name with a wrestler, and still view it as such.
Okay, I'm back.
I like this. This is good.
We discuss new plans for future stream.
And name this one.
And I'm gonna rename this one because what you missed from the movie, so the absolute zero beam, as you heard, was fired, and rather than avoiding the attack, the main character, after seeing it once, decides, I'm gonna run at it and punch him in the face.
So John Cena proceeds to attack through the beam.
Speaking of, John Cena confirmed for Suicide Squad 2.
Yep.
That's not a joke, Andy. That's the thing that's happening.
It sure is.
Anyway, he shoots the ice beam.
Yeah, shoots the ice beam. The main character decides I'm going to pilot my ship right inside of it and fight him with my fist. And Burning Spirit. And and while doing this, sorry, I'm like in a match and it's very distracting. So he punches through it, and while running through it and attempting to punch the governor, literally the fire guy who's co-piloting it screams at him that you are the dumbest person on the fucking planet. And then he screams, yes, I am the dumbest firefighter on the goddamn planet, with pure pride and bravado.
I would expect nothing else.
Alright, well, I guess I'll put up the next quest, Isaac.
Yeah, no problem. I'm headed to Gathering Hub now.
What would you recommend for a good early armor set?
I hear there's a really good mixed armor set, but I literally just made Bonbaro's armor because it looks really cool.
Yeah, Bonbaro and Bear. I felt Baroth actually had some good armor early on. So after this, he does punch the robot, and after it gets kind of broken up, they essentially break the freeze gun, and then it backfires and freezes his mech and their mech, and then those mechs are totally out of commission. After which, we are fully revealed into his fire demon form with his big fire left arm, and he's like, oh, I'm a fireman too, and then he grabs the fire guy and is like, I'm going to use you to restart the core, and we're going to use you to make a portal and get out of here. And he's like, no, and then he beats the shit out of him and takes him with him. But then he uses a big fire blast on the main character and blows him away, and it's like, oh no, main character, he's dead. And then their whole team shows up and fights off the soldier guys who've come to back up the governor, and then while beating up the soldier guys, they find the main character and they're like, are you okay? What's, you're on fire. Like, he's literally burning to death. And then he gets up and he's like, no, I wasn't. The fire around me was the one dude's the fire guy's fire, and it was actually protecting me. It was like a shield. I was like, oh, okay. And then they were like, what are you going to do? And he's like, I'm going to go stop him. And they're like, how are you going to do that? Are you? And then like one of the other members of his team's like, you're just going to run in and like go fight him, right? And he's like, yeah. And then, and then he goes to punch that guy too. And then he goes and literally is face to face with the governor man, and governor man's like, why won't you just fucking die? Quit living. I keep trying to kill you and you don't die. I hate it. And then he blasts him with fire. Yeah, right. He blasts him with fire, and then like and it does literally nothing because the fire is still protecting him from earlier. And then he's like, you should burning all these people alive. You should just stop the magma and save the planet and worry about everything else later. And I'm like, what? Like, that was not in the movie. Like, my reaction was not in the movie, but that was my reaction. I was like, wait, what? What are you talking about? Just save it. And I'm like, what? Yeah, he'll just get right on that, you know? Fuck. So yeah, so he decides to fight. He decides to save his friend, so he punches the governor, which knocks him out, and then uses the fire by giving him literally just like pumping his chest, giving him actual CPR, but putting the fire into him, and it saves the fire guy. After he's saved, they're like, All right, so what are you gonna do now? How are we gonna save everything? And then the fire guy looks at him and he's like, I know what we have to do. We have to start a fire. And he's like, what? And then he pretty much tells him that, yes, the fire aliens, you know, the Promare, because remember, this isn't fire, they're aliens, has needs to burn fully for the first time and just to trust him. So this whole magma explosion has to happen, and we need to accelerate it. It's very imperative we do this. So they do that. They team with the Promare by using the core and all of the power of the other fire people to literally tunnel to the core of the earth and use it to supercharge the magma and cause it to literally fucking explode. They do that, and then turns out that the Promare use their fire powers to make a shield like the
fight, Andy.
like the fire guy does.
Go start the fight. You gotta watch a cutscene.
I know. I already did. I'm
okay.
like getting to the cutscene right now.
But yeah, so they use the fire. They start the big fire thing, and after they do, they realize like what they have to do. It turns out the fire that the Promares are creating forms around all the people on Earth like a shield, like the fire leader guy did to the hero, to protect them, and then like the whole planet essentially bursts into flames, but then is restored just like into a destroyed city essentially. And then after that, they're like, alright, we did it, guys. We saved the day. And then they confirm that the fire people are gone and the Promares are gone because they needed to burst out in their fire so they could make their own warp gate back to their home dimension. And then they do it, and then they decide to enlist the fire guy to be a Fire Force member 2, and then they're gonna rebuild the city and save. And if anybody does anything wrong, main character's gonna fucking beat the shit out of them.
That's right.
Which he pretty much literally states. And then the movie is over.
If anyone does anything wrong, we're gonna beat the shit out of them. The end.
Yeah, he said if anybody's fire starts to burn up, he's gonna turn them into ash. He's gonna.
I think that's called tyranny.
You can join Isaac.
I'm gonna practice long shelling on this guy. So, Gunlance is weird because, as I've talked about with Jaime a few times, you literally have to change your entire what type of shelling your Gunlance uses.
Okay.
Because all of because it says normal, long, or wide shelling on Gunlances. They all have their own properties and unique things you can do with them, and they don't all work the same way. Like if you have normal shelling, you use burst fire, where you just light off all your shells at once, because normal shelling has way more shells than every other type of shelling. So burst fire does a fuck ton, has stronger shells, and you can charge their attacks. Ooh. So how you attack with them is you literally just do one-off artillery attacks non-stop. And I don't. I think wide shelling is really good with the wyvern stake, I think. But I hear long shelling is really good in Iceborne. If I had to guess, because when you grapple on the monsters' faces, you light off a shell in their face, but just one. Hi, Sutsuyaku. I'm not here to beat the life out of you today. This guy's just really annoying. Surprisingly, I'd say he's more annoying than his poison counterpart. Fuck, that does a fuck ton of damage.
Wow. But yeah, overall it was whatever. The animation was pretty good. I expected better, to be honest. But the action was really cool. Characters were bad. Villains were also bad. So it's like 5.5, maybe 6 out of 10.
Bless you. Motherfucker.
Well, Andy, when are you next free so we can watch that movie then?
I have to work the next 9 days straight.
When are you off one of those
Fuck
days
that.
so we can watch that movie?
Friday, but not this upcoming Friday.
Oh, I more meant what hours, but fair enough.
God damn it.
To be fair,
I
I'm
mean,
actually not free this weekend, except for Sunday night.
Yeah, it's Ramen Con, dog.
Yeah, Ramen Con this weekend.
oh, nice.
I got a panel, so if anybody watching wants to
Oh, I
come
should
see
have
my
requested
panel,
that off, but I didn't.
it'll be fun. I mean, my panel's not till 2:30 in the morning.
So you can still make it, Andy.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I was joking about running an opposite panel to yours.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
Damn it, I didn't want to do that.
Ooh, that hurt a lot.
Where'd he go?
North.
Did he roar on the ground?
Something roared.
Oh no, Paolin was here. That was Paolin.
Okay.
No? I don't see Paolin.
Man, Andy, you gave me an idea. Maybe I should start doing that where anytime I have a stream, I should name it like it'll still be the stream number, but then like name it something really funny we say during stream.
I think so.
Because we decided the best thing to name this stream was I'm the dumbest. I'm the dumbest goddamn firefighter of all time, or on Earth.
Well, I'm the dumbest Monster Hunter player because Monster is just asleep, and I fucking woke him up with the dual sword.
Sounds like a dual sword problem. When you
Yes,
just
I
can't
don't play them
fucking,
very
you
often.
can't stop edging, bro. You gotta chill out on your edges.
Oh,
Let's try this out. Bye, Andy.
God damn it! What do I get
I
for trying
didn't
to fuck with
realize
the
you were
health
actually
booster?
gonna die.
Oh, did you actually die?
I did. I was fucking around. I was trying to set up the health booster right behind Isaac. I'm like, I'll help you.
Oh, fuck. I really need to sharpen. This gun is just dulling my lance. Motherfucker.
Yeah. Big turnaround. That was always nice.
So Zach, how far are you in exploring?
So I am currently master rank 10. Master rank 10.
Oh,
And he's got to fight Brachydios.
Yeah. I've defeated the other side of the current mission I'm on. You have to hunt two different things, and Brachydios I've tried 4 times now and failed every time
yeah, he's a dick,
for
dude.
one reason or another.
He's a dick.
Yeah. But
I
I'm
remember when he was
Just the
first
one
introduced in the
reason, no
series.
other.
I am juggling 3 different weapons now though, so that's a very has been quite fun actually.
What's you got? A great sword, charge blade,
No,
and insect blade?
uh, uh so surprisingly, you were wrong across the board.
Wow.
um, so you were half right with the first one because I did main greatsword for since like the game since like I played the original story mode. However, I've since switched my main weapon to hammer,
Oh yes.
which I have thoroughly enjoyed a lot, and I've still use hammer as like my main weapon. If I need to deal damage, or basically if I'm taking the match very seriously, then I will use hammer. Um, if I'm trying out different stuff to just like get some different gameplay essentially. I have tried a new weapon. The bow has been my secondary weapon, which I've had a lot of fun with, especially during the 2 betas, like for the main game and Iceborne. So I knew I liked it because I like the bow guns, but I don't like micromanaging ammo. So I was like, oh, bow. I should just go with bow because I also like using the bow a lot. And I've had a lot of fun with it, and I already have a Brachydios bow, and it's
Even though you haven't beat him yet.
it's pretty fucking fun. Yeah, because I've been on missions where you fight him and have killed him or gotten pieces off of him in those missions. So yeah, I have a Brachydios bow, and it's funny thing. I think the Brachydios bow doesn't use any Brachydios parts too, but it's like
That's
called
weird.
a Brachydios, but like it's essentially called Brachydios something. Because it's pretty much made entirely out of just like hard to get bones. Like
Oh.
just rare drop bone piles is like what it's entirely made out of. Um, and it's pretty good. It has its damage is pretty low. It's like 288, I think. Um, but it does have 300 fire damage, which is pretty nice. The only downside is when I'm fighting like fire enemies, so it doesn't really help that much.
Well, still, that's cool.
Yeah.
Thanks,
So
Isaac.
if I'm using bow,
Oh, fuck.
I'm using that one.
I didn't see you over there. God damn it. Why is my shelling not charging?
Good.
Oh yeah, I should carve this tail that's over here somewhere. Where's that tail at?
I don't know. Cats ate it, dude.
Guess so. Fuck, just gone. I watched it get chopped off. I know it got chopped off.
Oh, he's asleep. We can put up some bombs.
Yeah, I'll put up some bombs. And thanks to my unnecessarily high charge rate with gun lance, I have wyvern fire ready already. I don't want that.
I was really thinking that would kill him.
Just let it happen.
Damn. Our Genji just got a quadra kill.
Isaac, I was busy killing that.
Well, I was busy making sure it would die in a worse situation.
I was explaining the capturing system in Monster Hunter to my cousin. He was slightly horrified. You gotta cut most of the pieces out and keep them alive, and then fight them in the arena later.
I like that when you trank bomb them, you can still keep beating them to death while putting them to sleep, and they somehow still fall asleep.
That's what just happened. So.
Yeah, we kind of found that out recently when we were just beating on something that like wasn't going to sleep thanks to trank bombs, but while beating it up, it then finally went to sleep because it was finally beat up enough while it was currently in a trap.
Yeah.
I'm pretty tired.
Now that I think about it, your stabs have made me very exhausted.
The Plunder Blade, I think, is going to really help. Since I use
Nothing.
it
Nothing makes me more tired than stab wounds and scar tissue.
I'm ready for a nap.
Oh, the third weapon is a sword and shield.
Really?
Yes.
Sword and Shield's actually been my main in Iceborne.
I've
Secondary.
busted out a pretty much entirely, once again, all bone build sword and shield that actually causes paralysis.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. My choices were a... That's pretty dope. I had a choice between a hard steel one that causes sleep or a all bone one that causes paralysis, and I was like, paralysis just seems better overall, and the bone is
sure
like
a steel hammer would put you to sleep.
it was a sword. It was sword and shield still.
Oh, sorry.
But-
I'm pretty sure a steel sword would put you to sleep.
Probably not. I don't think stab wounds put you to sleep very well, unless forever. Except for forever.
No, it's all in the
that's
shield
definitely
badge,
what I
dude.
was implying.
That's
And two, no, you can pass out from blood loss without dying.
that's fair.
What about the back of the sword? It
Though
might not be sharp.
I don't think there's any
Also,
move in the
sword
game
and
that lets you
shield
use
is-
back of the sword.
As
No,
far as
of
I'm
course
aware,
Running
as
tension.
far,
DLC.
as far as
Oh,
I'm
yeah,
aware, sword and
reverse
shield
blade,
is
so-
the second best KO weapon because you just shield bash them. Go to sleep. Go to sleep.
Yeah, but I've always liked the aesthetic of a sword and shield like in other games, but I just wasn't crazy about it in how it played in Monster Hunter, so I didn't jump into it. Like originally, that was actually going to be my first weapon. Was not going to be greatsword, but sword and shield, because I usually don't like heavy weapons in RPGs. I'm never really the big weapon person. But I loved Greatsword.
This is a big weapon game, though, so
Right.
He's got you there.
So I went to heavy weapons, and I fucking loved all of them. Well, that's not true. I actually don't like Charge Blade or Switch Axe.
Switch axe, I really just don't care for personally. It's among my least favorite weapons in the game.
Um,
same.
but yes, I tried both and just hated how they played, essentially. That was pretty much it.
I like
Charge
Charge
Blade
Blade,
is
though.
just surprisingly complicated.
Yeah.
I would argue, trying to think here, but of the melee weapons, I would argue that Charge Blade and Gun Lance are the most complicated weapons. But Gun Lance is complicated for different reasons.
Right.
It's not like Charge Blade where you have to go around and fucking, uh, you know, yeah, charge your shield, charge your sword, wait for an opening, fucking charge all your files, blow them away with all your files. Gun
Rinse,
Lance
repeat.
is, yeah. Gun Lance is just pretty much just you're gonna have really simple combos, but you gotta pay a lot more attention to what kind of gun lances you're using
I
because
also
it's not just about sharpness or damage. It's about shelling level and what type of shelling, and if you're doing different shelling types, you need different combos.
I also almost played Lance because that's actually in. So I didn't play before World. I played Monster Hunter 1 and no other one. I played it on
Oh shit.
PS2 and PSP. And on the of those, I know Adam was a gun lance main, and I was a lance main.
Hmm.
Lance and shield I had a lot of fun with. So I tried that in this game, and I just wasn't about it. Essentially, as far as it really went. Um, but yeah, I juggled a lot of different stuff. I haven't tried Sword and Shield since I've made my new ones, but I think I will like them.
Sword
How do
and
you?
Shield for me, I frankly after playing it for a while, it's like it's got so much maneuverability. I don't want to go back to other weapons.
Fair.
Like, Sword and Shield, I think, has the most maneuverability out of any weapon. You can drop pretty much any combo you want on the fly. There's very few combos with Sword and Shield where I just feel like I'm stuck in animations for forever. Is there a wide level 6 gun lance I can even make? I'm interested to try out the wide combo. I'm seeing wide level 5, but I'm not seeing wide level 6.
Damn it. Yeah, that's it. God, we almost had it too.
Uh,
Oh damn! All my old sets are worthless now. This shitty ass set has 600 and some defense without ever upgrading it. But garbage
yeah,
skills.
that's sadly the case. I mean, that's the same as old Monster Hunter. You know, you get to G rank, all your stuff's useless.
See how many armor sets I had. Solid 50.
Time to delete all of them.
Yeah,
God
I
damn.
deleted all my like 35 plus armor sets.
I wonder if I can get a better weapon now.
Chances are, yeah. I've actually found just the regular like chrome and bone weapons are pretty good. Um, well, couldn't find anything. That's a bummer.
Well, I need to mine more before I can make anything good. Better, I guess.
Fair enough.
Well, I do have a quest to do, though.
Who you gotta fight?
I don't know. It says, except Blizzard Blitz.
Oh, it's probably Barrioth.
Yeah, probably. He's
I
pretty dope.
probably have a cutscene to watch.
Yeah, you have a
Yeah.
cutscene for every one of them. Every story mission has a cutscene before you can have people help you.
Barrioth has some pretty solid ice weapons, though.
Yeah. He's actually most of the armor my character is currently wearing.
Let's see here.
Damn,
The new town layout's gigantic.
The new town?
Well, yeah, I'm just not
It's like
used to it.
half the
So.
size of the main one.
Still
Or
pretty
the
big.
old one.
Really? I don't know. Still
The
seems
ta
pretty big
the
to me.
town itself, the group hall is like several times bigger.
No, that is true. The gathering hub is way bigger. It's just the main town is, it might be more or less the same size. It's just
No, it's
um
smaller.
I guess I'm just not used to it. I don't know where to go to accept quests and shit.
Just a board, any board you see.
I know that, but I don't see that many in the town.
I think there's 4. I think.
there's one by the gates leading out of the town, and then there's the handler who's in the restaurant area.
Mm-hmm. Cause man,
I'm accepting a
she
quest
just
now,
don't
so
stop eating.
Just non-stop, just fucking shoveling shit down her throat. I can't wait to make my Brute Tigrix gun lance that apparently has hidden sleep damage. I'm not sure, but I suspect it's Brute Tigrix since it's next to the Tigrix tree and there's only a handful of monsters I don't have unlocked.
Man, I just kept burst shooting grenades, like just cause I got Junkrat, so I'm just spraying grenades. I just coincidentally caught their mercy.
Boo, 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 boo. Ah, oh, nice. Yeah, Barry out is who we're fighting.
yeah. Damn, I wish I had a pro. These load times are kind of brutal. I like the logic in Monster Hunter. Just drink some fucking hot sauce and you're good in the worst blizzard.
Yeah,
Yeah,
hot.
boy.
Have yourself a nice cup of tea. fresh
No, the
hot
hot drink
cocoa,
is
a
just
hot coffee.
hot peppers. It's hot sauce.
Yeah, it's true. It's just ground up hot pepper. You say hot sauce. It's just pepper juice. You just squeeze it into your mouth. I mean, potions are just ground up herbs that you're drinking.
It's weed.
And mega potions are just ground up herbs mixed with honey.
Yeah.
These make these bite wounds feel so much better.
I don't even feel them anymore. I'm healed. My
It's like I
wounds
was
are gone.
never on fire and poisoned.
I like that also antidotes are just made from blue herbs. Like, oh man, these herbs are blue, not green. These are clearly for curing poison. But they don't know what it
Simpler
is, because
times.
they didn't know what it is, though, because they don't know its name. It's just blue herbs. It's blue, fuck it.
All right, Isaac. I'm eh, I'm falling into the ocean. What the fuck? Well, I'm not dead.
See, I love playing Sombra because she's just a problem. Like literally,
Sorry, I was watching a video.
I literally have like 4 people keep coming to these med packs, and I've hacked every one of them. Bro, you're not gonna get any. I'm still here.
Say hello to my favorite build, Andy. The Infinite Life build.
Oh, nice.
Oh fuck. No!
Yeah, that happened to me right off the bat. And I'm like, what the fuck is this?
Oh, well, hello there, Mr. Toby Kadachi. How are you this fine day? Please do not poison and or paralyze me while I try to return to my find. Toby Kadachi has left the location.
Oh.
Uh-oh, Savage Devil Joe has entered the location. No, he hasn't, but that would suck.
No, Tiny Wang is here.
Fucking goddamn, I was trying to get materials from here the other day, and Savage Devil Joe was just stalking me the whole time. Savage Devil Joe is the only monster I'm aware of who will always attack you when he sees you. No, Andy! Live!
Uh, man, he left. He instantly was like, no, fuck this game. I just was a fucking problem. Literally, I hacked a Torb, shot him up, then teleported away. The Bastion saw me and ran after me, but I went invisible. He then decided I'll be a turret and just shoot at his allies. I just walked right behind him, hacked him so he couldn't be a turret anymore, and just kept shooting at him when he ran
keep
to the
going,
health
Andy.
pack,
Don't
which was
stop.
already hacked.
There is no time to stop, Andy.
And that's why I love playing Sombra. She's just a
Isaac, can you sharpen for me,
fucking
too?
nuisance.
That's a good question.
No.
I don't think so.
That'd be awesome.
I also did not die
I mean,
once.
I could do a lot of things.
That'd be pretty great if you can share health, you can also share sharpness. Don't worry, guys, I'm sharpening your weapons for you. Well, is that like the
It makes about as much sense, let's be honest.
it's true. Is that the Squire
Imagine
build
if-
where you just like take care of everybody's equipment? You're just the
Go
assistant
for it,
build.
my master.
Dude, that's the handler build. Like they release a handler armor set where you just dress up as the chick and it allows you to like give people health, give people sharpness, give them
Flash
food.
bombed Barrios. I'm gonna
Me.
murder them. Andy, I'm gonna murder you.
I didn't realize he was like Rajang and gets pissed.
All the fast monsters are worse when they're flash bombed.
Oh, because they start flailing, but like super fast.
Yes.
Aren't you still fighting Baroth? Or yeah, Baroth.
Barrios, yeah. We just
Barrios.
started.
Oh,
Well, I just started.
right. He watched a cutscene.
Yeah, it took me a minute too. I had to work with my set a little bit.
Son of a bitch. Motherfucker, go away! Oh great, I'm stunned. Motherfucker, stop! Okay, Barrioth, we get it. And I'm stunned again. Not anymore.
We get it, Barioth. You're a fucking nuisance. Damn it. That killed me instantly.
No, stunned. I'm stunned in the health booster though.
It's always nice when you get like slept or knocked out. Put your healing. So that's when you say this is fine, but it actually is.
He's just tackling me non-stop across the stage.
Yep.
God damn it. What happened to my flinch freeze?
Man, I've gotten Widowmaker like 4 times tonight, and honestly, this has probably been the best night of me playing Widowmaker ever. Because I'm really bad with Widowmaker.
Whoops, that's not what I wanted. Well, at least I got free meal. So it didn't eat the item.
Nice. Ah, I got cornered. Didn't expect her to come up behind me.
Ow, asshole.
But yeah. Well
I
then
got you, Andy. Keep going.
this weekend, in honor of Raymond Con, I'll make sure to watch another anime movie and break that down too. But because Andy's idea is so good, I'll replace the name of every character with famous professional wrestlers. And then we'll do the
Chief
same.
Wahoo McDaniels.
Yeah, I'll go.
What the fuck? He left.
See, I'd like to go with the super obscure ones, but I think it'd be funnier if we did like very famous ones.
Hulk Hogan.
Yeah, like Hogan. Chief Wahoo McDaniel. Like going super obscure. Like who the fuck's heard of super? Who the fuck besides like a wrestler,
You know why
a
I know
wrestling
that
mark?
name?
Why do
It's
you know?
because Meatwad told me that. Meatwad quotes that more than once. He talks about Chief Wahoo McDaniels.
Very famous '50s wrestler. Was also like head bookie and head of talent for like a long time in WWE, though especially during the Next Generation era. However, he is notorious for being homosexual and getting. There was a lot of scandals around him assaulting some of the fellow wrestlers back in the day,
Huh. Weird.
which led to his early retirement. Because like when the scandals started coming out, like before anything went anywhere, he like retired immediately. So it was all very weird. Yeah, I got my new skin. Now Bastion is made of Legos. That's pretty dope. The gold looks pretty funny though. Golden Legos.
Oh,
Let's see. Yeah, it's like. Alright, well, I'm gonna play some of my highlights and then I'll probably do my sign off and cut it from there. So, Isaac, you got anything fun to say to all the youngins out there?
No.
No, that's too bad.
Fuck the youngins.
I do have good news for your followers. Tayshawn is now Bill Cosby's top fan on Twitter.
I think
Like,
we made that.
officially.
I think we've made that joke before, though.
Oh, god damn it.
I think Isaac made that joke.
Yeah, I told you I did too, Andy. I told you if I didn't see you on, I would do it.
That was my joke, nigga.
I did clarify it was your joke.
He did say.
There's a Devil Joe.
Is that Devil Joe? It's not Anjanath?
Oh, well, it looked like Devil Joe.
No, they got the same
Devil
Dino face.
Joe shouldn't be here yet.
Alright, well then, we'll catch you at the next stream. It'll be number 76. Don't know what we'll be doing. Maybe we'll have to, maybe we have to play more Overwatch, but only Soldier. Can only play Soldier 76. That sounds like fun. Probably do that. I literally just thought of that. I was like, 76. That sounds vague, like that's something. I was like, oh yeah, there's a character in Overwatch called 76.
There's also a Fallout called 76.
That's too bad that ever happened.
You hate to see it.
You hate to see it happen. But yeah, we'll catch you at the next stream. Eggs Burrito signing off. Don't forget, stay lucky, boys.